Good morning, guys. All of them have installed the system. Anybody is facing issue? You're part of the WhatsApp group. They have added. Why? So ask them to add it. Okay, not now after the class. What about online, guys? All of them have installed.
Yeah, I have to install the same thing I download to 200, right?
Same for?
The same thing that you on the coaching book. So it's not working with that. So what I did, I downloaded it as it had Linux available coaching machine. And I installed the file that you want.
Some of it's installed. Is it fine? Yep. Okay. So online, guys, anybody still facing an issue with the installation? All of them have installed.
I installed on it.
Okay, fine then. So fine then, if the installation process is done, so let's go ahead with the first unit. And before going for the first unit, have I showed you that how to log into the Linux system and run the commands? Nothing started, is it? Fine then. So let's start the first unit today. And before going for the first unit, that I'm going to show you that how you can log into the Linux system and access it. Just close it off your all laptop. It's not required now. Just you can see on the screen. Okay. If the installation process is done properly, you don't need to get the laptop every day. You can keep it at home. So every day I will give the recording. So once you're back to home, then you have to practice it. Here every day the questions will be given from tomorrow. I told you that you have to keep the 2 books, is it? So from tomorrow you have to get your notes and 1 book you have to leave it here. Okay. So fine then. So once you have done the successful installation, so this is the window it's going to launch for you. Once this window is launched, this is the login window in the graphical desktop. So here that what you have to do, every day you have to log into the others. You can see, you might be have created the user at the end of the installation in your name or somebody's name. And that user also can log in. But what happens that you will not be able to execute more and more commands. All the commands that you will not be able to execute, you have the limited access over them. Okay, so that's what you have to do. You have to go to the others and you have to log into the root account. Root is the admin here. Root is the admin. So now here that in the Windows operating system, you have the admin account. So why you will log into the admin account in Windows?
That is particularly specified.
Yes, that if you log into the admin account, you will get all the privileges. If you wanted to configure something or configured one, if you wanted to modify, delete something or install something, you must be logged into the admin account in the Windows. The same thing here, if you wanted to do the same functions, make sure you have to log into the root. Root is the admin here. He's the one having the full privilege to access the complete operating system. Okay, so now here root and enter, and you have to give the password. You must be remember the password. At the durations that installation process, what the password you have given, that you have to give it and enter. Now I have given the password. Now I have logged into the system. So after login, you can see that in the right side top corner. So it shows that what user we have logged in. Okay, see that in the right side top corner, you can see that what user we have logged in. We have logged into the root account. So this is which you have got the graphical window. Guys, remember this graphical desktop which you're using it, this is only in the classroom setup. You never have it in any of the production server. Then how to go to the TUI and login, that we will see that in tomorrow's class. Now I have logged into the root account here. If you wanted to see the same from the command prompt, just you have to open the terminal. And here that you have to run the command that the who am I. If I go to the command the who am I and enter, which I will be able to see that what user that I have logged in, I've logged into the root account here. I've logged into the root account here. And if you wanted to see now here from the command prompt, we can see which user we have logged in. But other functions, if you wanted to do it for each and every stage, you must know the command of that. And before the username, can you see the date and time here? If you wanted to see that on the operating system, the date and time, you must need to run the command the date. If I go to the date command and enter, I will be able to see the date and time of the operating system. So it's showing that February 12th and 8 o'clock, 17 minutes, 45 second IST 2024. But actually it's a February 15th today. Okay, but now it's almost 8 o'clock, 15 minutes now. Accordingly, I have to change it. Now in my system, the date and time, it's not correct. So what I have to do, if you go for here and click here, this is graphical tool, you know, I'm just going to select 15 and go to the edit and time setting, you will do it and click on OK, then it will be set. But how can I do it from the command prompt that? So for that, you have to go to the syntax. You have to go to the command that. Okay, so date, month, date, hour, minute, year, and dot ss. It's a syntax. This is not the command which I have written here. It's a syntax for your understanding I have written here. So what are all I have written here? Month, date, hour, minute, year, dot ss is a second. Month, date, hour, minute, year, and dot ss is a second. Okay, so make sure that you have to, accordingly, you have to change it. So what is that? That first one is a month. What is the month we are in now? We are in the second month. Don't give 2. Always it has to be 2 digit. You have to give 0 2. You have to give it. Okay. So the next one. So the next one is date. What is the date? Today it's a February 15th. And month. What is the month? Sorry, hour. I'm sorry. Hour. So now it's 8 o'clock. It's that. So you have to give the 24/7 on that base that you have to give it. Now morning 8 o'clock. Now 08 you have to give it. After that month. I'm so sorry. First one is a month, date, hour, minute, year. So now I'm just going to give the minute here. I'm just going to give 8 o'clock, 15 minutes I'm going to give it. And here 2024. And second, it's a optional. If you want, you can give it. Otherwise, you can ignore it. I just give 5 seconds here. Okay. So the first one is a month and we are in the February. And the next one is a date. And now today we are in the February 15th. And after that, hour, it's a 8 o'clock, minute, 15 minutes, and 2024, it's a year. And second, I have given 5 seconds I have given. Now enter. Can you see the output here? What was the date and time before? It was the Feb 12th and 8 o'clock it was shown, 20. Now I have changed it. But if you're going to see the graphically, within a fraction of a second, it will get updated in the graphically as well. Quickly, it will get updated. So this is how that you have to go for change the date and time of the operating system in the local system. Okay, so the next one, how you can synchronize the server time to the client system, that we will see that in the further classes. So the next one, it's a cal and enter. It shows the calendar. It shows the calendar. It shows, it shows the present month calendar it shows. If you wanted to see that the entered here calendar, you have to go for cal 2024. I just reduce the font because we get that the lengthy output, we will get it here. See here that I have run the command at the cal 2024, which it has got display the entire year calendar. We have got it here. So we are in the February 15th. So the date is highlighted here. If you wanted to see that there might be for an example, I may go for cal 1947. In the year of 1947, if you wanted to see that the particular date, August 15, when it falls on Friday. The same thing, I just go for cal 2050 and enter. Now, if I go for future 2050, and if you wanted to see that August 15th, it falls on Monday. Which day and when it falls, that if you wanted to see that, you can go for this. Okay, so this is how that you will be able to see all that. Okay, so now here that if you go for the ls command, you will be able to list out that what all the files and directories we have. In the, if you wanted to, what is the full form of ls then? List all the files and directories, that is correct. So here that we have got that all the files and directories we have got. I'm asking the full form of that. List is for sort. Okay, it's for sort. So list to sort with the help of this, which is going to list out all the files and directories. In this location, what are the files and directories we have, that all it's going to list out. Okay, so now here that you can see that I have somewhere in the black color and some few have with the blue color. How do we know that which is the file and which is the directory?
Highlighted is the folders and non-highlighted is the
Where is highlighted and non-highlighted? I have highlighted there. So if you run ls command, so how do you know that which is the file and which is the directory?
if I do ls -al, that gives a list of files and folders, and the files and folders are starting is read and write, and in the directories first is B,
Hmm.
and not it's and
Understood. So that is that we will see that in the further classes which you're talking about. Now for today's first unit we have started is a simple way to understand which is the file and which is the directory. Whatever after running the ls command, whatever you have got the black color, double one, anaconda, arun, and in the third line you can see file install.log. This all it's a files. Whatever you see in the black color, that all it's a file. And whatever you're seeing in the blue color, you can see here desktop, documents, download, insert. So this all is the directories we have. Okay. So in any of the interview or anywhere that if someone asks that how do you differentiate which is the file and which is the directory, don't tell this color combination. So this is for just for your understanding, since it's the first day of the first unit we are talking about. So I will not be able to go for more technical. Okay. So that is what with the color combination I'm telling it. Got it? The next one. So the next one we are going to see. Now we understood that how you can log into the system and run the commands. So I just have showed you how to log in, how to check which user, what is the date and time, and how to see the calendar. Just few commands that I have showed you. So let's go for the first unit. So the first unit that which we are going to discuss about, get started with the Gnome graphical desktop. The first unit is get started with the Gnome graphical desktop. So this is a completely basic. So which you are going to see that what is Linux, what is the operating system, features of Linux, types of desktop, types of login, some couple of shortcuts we will see. Okay, so today we cannot get it done this first unit. Even tomorrow also we will be discussing about the same. And in this, you are going to see that how to access the operating system. That's all. How to go and wait to see and what option we have, how we can modify that to come out from that, open the terminal, go to the tier. That are all some shortcuts and commands you will see. Get started with the Gnome graphical desktop. It's a unit name. Now, here that if you, okay, before going for that, all the commands and all, first tell me what is Linux? Yeah, Linux is the operating system. How we have the DOS operating system and the Windows operating system. The same thing, Linux is also your operating system. So, but it is a command-based operating system. Then what is operating system? Linux is the operating system you said. So what is the operating system then? Hmm. It's one software, is it? Operating system is one software. See, even in the Windows, if you wanted to install the Windows, that is one software you have that you're going to execute and you're going to install it. The same thing here. Operating system is a software which interacts between application and the hardware. It is loaded in the memory when computer is remain active as long as machine is up. Okay, I just repeat. Operating system is one software. Operating system is a software which interacts between application and the hardware. It is loaded in the memory when remain computer is active as long as machine is up. Okay, so then who is the founder of the Linux? Linus Torvald. Linustrovald. Linus Torvald. When he was studying second year computer engineering in Finland, he developed a first kernel. The version it was at the 0.1 and 1.0, 2.0 in the different here, different version has got launched. Okay, so the next one, features of Linux. If you come to the features of Linux, we have the 5 features we have. The first one is a multi-user, multitasking, open source, security, and everything is a file. I just repeat. So we have the 5 features: multi-user, multitasking, open source, security, and everything is a file. One by one with the examples we are going to see. The first one we have the multi-user. What is the meaning of multi-user? Okay, so let's take one example in the Windows operating system that you have the 2 users that you have. Okay, so one is ABC and XYZ. Now you have logged into the ABC. From the ABC, you have to switch to XYZ. What do you do?
C and users.
Not here. I'm asking in Windows. In Windows, you have 2 users. One is ABC and XYZ. Now I'm using ABC. Now I have to switch to the XYZ. What I have to do? Yeah, how do you log in? What is that option? You have the switch user option you have, no, in the Windows. So you will log out the user, then you will switch to the whichever the user you want, you will switch. From ABC, you will log into the XYZ. After logging to the XYZ user, will you be able to access ABC? Again, the same process you have to follow. Log out the XYZ, then you have to switch to the ABC. That is the process that you do it, is it? But here, that if we come to the Linux, multiple users who can access in one shot. How? For an example, if I'm going to check in my system, ls/show. So if I go for this command, that I will be able to see that what all the existing users that I have on the system. You can see here that I have two users. One is Red Hat and U1. I have the two users. One is Red Hat and U1. Now I'm in which user? If I run the command, who am I? I'm in the admin account. If I wanted to switch to the Red Hat user, the one you can see. So as I said that you have to go for the SU command you have to go for. What is SU? Switch user. SU is a switch user. If you wanted to switch from one user to another user, you have to go for a SU command you have to go for. SU space hyphen space and Red Hat. Without hyphen, you should not get into the user. Okay, I will tell you later that what happens that if you don't use it hyphen and here SU space hyphen space and username and enter. Now after enter, if I run who are my command, I'm in which user now? I'm in the Red Hat user. So this is how that you have to use the command, which means that in the Linux operating system, multiple users you can log in one shot. Now you have the one more user here, U1. If you wanted to log into that, just open one more terminal and I'm just dragging this window, the terminal. Now here, if you wanted to switch for that U1 user, the command you have to go for SU space hyphen space U1. Okay, and enter. Now here that if I run who am I'm in which user? U1 user. So can I access both? Here I'm in the Red Hat user. Here I'm in the U1 user. Both I can access it. This we call as a multi-user. After the usage of that, if you wanted to come out from that user, make sure run the command exit. Exit is to come out. The same thing, I'm just using the exit. And here also I have come out from that user. Got it? So if you wanted to come out, that exit command that you have to run it. Suppose if you're not going to exit after the usage of that user, after some time, if you try to log in for the same user, it says that it's already logged in. Okay, so then you have to find out that, so in which terminal you have logged in, and then you can continue working, or else that you have to come out and kill that process. And again, you have to start with you can get into that user. Okay, so the next one, multitasking. What is multitasking? Multitasking meaning? Correct. Multitasking, multiple applications and jobs can be executed in one shot. For an example, one of the client I have given one command for you or one script. Assume in my system I have 10 users and they ask me to execute that for all the 10 users that command or script. It may take that if I run that script, it may take 2 hours to get complete. If I wanted to do it for that all the 10 users, it may take 2 days of my shift. And if I do it 5 users today for 10 hours, next tomorrow 5 users I will do it. So 2 days of my shift, it's a waste of time that if you're going to spend the time like that. One shot, log in for all the users, 10 user, open 10 terminals like this, and each terminal log in for one user. Run that script. In next 2 hours, you can get it complete. This we call is a multitasking. Multiple jobs can be executed in one shot and access the operating system. Okay, so and if there is any dependency, see sometimes in the production environment, they mention that after completion of the first user, then you have to go for the second user. If there is such instructions, you have to follow. We cannot do anything because after completion of the first user, so if there is any dependency, then it will take it further for the next user. Otherwise, if they're not going to specify that blindly, that you can go ahead for one shot that login for all the 10 users and get it done. Okay, so the next one, open source. What is open source? Windows also, anyone can use it. You have any restriction? No, it's it.
Open source
It's freely available software.
Correct. Sorry?
without any price or cost.
Correct. It's a free of cost. The open source is a free of cost OS. For an example, Windows operating system. You guys are using for many years. From your college days, you are using Windows XP, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, Windows 11, whatever the different versions we have. So that all you have to pay and you have to get the OS. Okay, suppose if you're going to buy one new system, the raw system, if you wanted to install it, you have to buy the OS to install. So if you wanted to buy the Windows 11, just the OS, they charge the more than 5,000 rupees just for the OS itself. Just for the OS itself, they're going to charge the more than 5,000. Okay, so if you wanted to install it, we get the trial version, you will get it in the Google, but that you cannot use it for long time. Hardly you can use it like 45 days, like 1.5 months, 2 months, you can use it. After that, it will stop work. The trial version, which you will get it in the Google. But if you wanted to use it for long time, you will call to some of your friend and you will take the cracked version and install it, which you can use it for a long time. Otherwise, online or offline, which means if you go to some service center, they will give the DVD along with the product key. You have to pay more than 5,000 rupees for the Windows 11 OS. Okay, that which you can use it for a long time. You will be having the product key, no, which you can use it. But if you come to the Linux, it's a free. It's a free of cost. Even the online or offline, if you take it from somebody without paying it, you can take it this. It's a free of cost. How we have it in the Windows XP 7, 8, 10, that all is it. Here also that we have the different versions and flavor also we have here. Now we are using the Red Hat Linux. We are using the Red Hat Linux, the same way that we have the Fedora, CentOS, Kali Linux, SUSE, and Ubuntu. Concept-wise, all this is same. Concept is all it's same, and only that if you go for especially when you're using the Ubuntu operating system, you have a lot of different commands you have. Okay, all the time you have to go to the Google and you have to find out, then you have to execute the command on the server. And in the SUSE flavor also, SUSE you don't have much changes. Some few concepts, command is different, and some few concepts, option is different. Otherwise, most of the stuff is same only you have. Rest all the flavor, same concept, same commands. Okay, so some few changes if it is there, that if you Google it or else if you see that in the help options, you will get it back. Okay, so now here that if you come to the open source operating system, it's a free of course. Just go to the Google and download and you can install it. So the next one, security. Why that the people that they're going to use that on the server, Linux server? And might be for an example, till yesterday I was using for many years Windows Server. And yesterday it got migrated for Linux. Why? Security. We are talking about the security only. Again, you are telling the same point. So what is that? Why that they're using it? Why that they use the Linux servers? Compared to Windows, what advantage we have in this? There are many points.
External gifts are not allowed.
What? I did not get it.
External guests are not allowed without the access to access the system.
External package means you're talking about the external package.
External guests, I said.
External disk. Okay. See, I will tell you that the security points. So one is compared to the Windows operating system, Linux is very secure. We have the many security concepts we have. So also we have that one concept of the SC Linux. SC Linux is a secure enhanced Linux. So actually we have a course also on this SC Linux. There is an exam also. It's very difficult course and very difficult exam this is. If you wanted to go for this SC Linux, you have to have good hands-on experience on the operating system, hacking knowledge, you have to know scripting knowledge, networking knowledge. Then only you understand the concept of that. Otherwise, it's very difficult. Okay. If you come to the Linux, compared to the Windows, Linux is very secure. We have that many security levels that we have, concepts we have. After that, it is a command-based operating system. Already you have been seeing sometime that each and every stage we have the command. Suppose if I wanted to access the operating system, I will install it and I will give the system to access it and execute or configure something. If you wanted to do that, make sure that related commands you have to know. If you don't know the command, you will not be able to execute and cannot configure it. Okay. So the next one, virus-free operating system. For an example, I'm going to give one pen drive for you to copy some document from the pen drive to your system. You will copy directly. Then what do you do? From the pen drive, you will copy directly the document. Then, huh? You will scan it. Why you will scan it? Because we are scared that if there is a virus in the pen drive, it will be copied to your system. After a couple of days, your system performance will be slow. So then you have to go for scanning your OS and all that you have to do it. Instead of that, at the time initial stage itself, if you're going to scan it and copy, you're safe. Okay. So if you wanted to scan it in your system, you have to have the antivirus. For that, you have to pay 1,000 rupees change for 1 year plan. Correct. So that if you that is in the Windows operating system, antivirus is mandatory if you wanted to keep your system for safe. But here that if you come to the Linux, it's a virus-free operating system. Okay, don't think that we don't have the antivirus. We have the antivirus for some servers, certain reasons that we install it, not for all the server. Next one, the last one, you can customize it according to your requirement. For an example, you will go to the Windows operating system with a C partition. You know that if you go to the My Computer C, D, E, F drives, you can see. If you go to the C partition, have you seen that what is present in the C? What is there in the C partition? You have some multiple files, multiple subdirectories. That all you have. It's it. What are all that? All the OS related files, bootable files, configuration files, script, that all it contains in the C partition. Okay, that if you go for and try to access it, that the files and the folders which you have, most of them you cannot access it. Okay, might be you're logged into the admin account, but still you have the restrictions over there to access it. Okay, but if you come to the Linux system, all the files and directives you can access it according to your requirement. Might be I feel that one of the concept, okay, it should not work like this. It should work in the different way in the sense I can go to that configuration file and modify it. There's certain changes. After done with that, that concept according to your requirement, it works. But in Windows, it's quite difficult that. Okay, most of the files which you cannot access it there. Okay, so now here in the security that we have in the command-based operating system compared to the Windows Linux is very secure and you can customize it according to your requirement and it is a virus-free operating system. Okay, so the last features that we have that everything is a file. In the Linux, that each and everything that we're going to call it is a file. I just have executed the ls command sometime. Now here I said this is a directory. Okay, so this file called file, which we have, the file called file and Arun, Anaconda, the one which we have, this all it's a file. And for the directory also, we call it as a directory file. And not only for the file and directory, hardware devices, motherboard, processor, the keyboard, mouse, everything that we call it, we are going to call it as a file. Okay, because we have the file system architecture we have here. Okay, so about this, everything is a file. I'm going to give the more details once I come to the file system unit. We have a unit on that. Okay, so as of now that we have discussed about the 5 features, multi-user. What is the command for that? SU is a command. If you wanted to come out from the user, exit. After that, multitasking, multiple jobs can be executed and access the operating system. Open source, it's a free of cost. And after that, security. I told you the couple of points, why it is free and very secure, command-based operating system, and everything is a file. Each and everything that we're going to call is a file. We have the file system architecture here. Okay, so the next one, I'm just going to show you the couple of commands here. If you wanted to see that the architecture of the operating system, the command you have to go for uname space -yum. It shows the architecture of the operating system. It shows the 64-bit architecture. So the same thing that you can go for I or you can go for P. Otherwise, just you have to run the command, just uname and enter. Sorry. So just if you go for the okay, so just if you go for leave that highlighted one, leave that. So just if you go for these commands which I've showed you, that all the architecture it shows. It's not required that you have to remember that all the 4 commands, just remember one command to see the architecture. In between that highlighted one, if you see that, just if you run the root uname command. Okay, so just if you run the uname command, you can see that what operating system. I'm using the Linux operating system. Okay, so the next one, I just go for that. What operating system I'm using it, that if you wanted to know that, you have to go for uname space -o. O for operating system. O for operating system. So that it shows the GNU and Linux that we can see. And after that, the next one, if you wanted to know the name of the system, that you have to go for uname space -yum. Okay, it shows that the localhost.local domain. So with the help of this command, we can see that what is the name of the system. And here, otherwise, you can go for the hostname command as well. Otherwise, you can go for the hostname command as well. Uname space -n, otherwise hostname also you can write it. Okay, so and next one that we have that instead of going for this all, it's a multiple options which I've showed you that all if you wanted to see that in one shot, the command you have to go for uname space -a for all. Uname space -a for all. So if you go for this, that you will be able to see that all that together you can see. I just enter. Once I enter, you can see that I'm using what operating system? Linux operating system. So here that you can see that the localhost.local domain, and here that what is the kernel version, what is the date and time and architecture, and here that what type of desktop and GNU. This whatever the above command we have seen, that all you can see together with the help of -a option.
What is the meaning of uname?
No, there is no particular name for that. If you go to the man and uname, see here, print the system information. There is no full form for that. Okay, so the function of this, it says that print the system information. So that is what I have printed and show you here, that the system informations we will get it. Okay. So any question on this so far? We just started the first unit. Still, there are many things to discuss in the first unit. Any question on this so far? Okay. Online guys? Any question? All three of them?
No, sir.
Okay, so fine then. So I'm just going to wind up for now. And so we will continue the first unit in tomorrow's class. So after completion of the first unit, if we have time, so then we will go for the next concept, the second unit we will discuss. Okay, so the first week, I will not follow like 1 hour class, 8 to 9. So you have to adjust for this, all the commands and the concept. It takes time for you. It takes 1 week or at least 10 days it takes. That is what off of the unit I'm just doing it. From next week onwards, that you will be having 1 hour classes. That is 8 to 9 you will be having it. But make sure that day concept, that day itself practice it. So as I told you that next week onwards, you will be seeing that the many commands you will see. And if you think that, okay, let's discuss, let's practice in the weekend and then make the notes, that cannot be done. 5 days and 5 hours videos, you cannot sit in one shot and practice it. Very difficult. Okay, that day concept, that day itself practice it, make the notes, and it will be easy for you to ask, answer for the questions, the everyday questions which I'm going to ask. Okay, so from tomorrow, I'm going to give the questions on that each day, whatever the concepts which we have discussed in the last day classes, that you have to go through and come. And today, I will give the question on that. You have to write the answer here and leave the book and go. Whenever I find time, I will validate it that. Okay, but book has to be here. Okay, I may find a time in the weekend or in the weekdays, or sometimes we will do it in the class itself. That depends. Okay, so fine then. If no questions, we'll wind up for now. And recorded drive have given to you. Google Drive link for the recorded sections. No, is that fine? I will online guys. I will create the Google Drive link where you will see that the everyday the recordings from today onwards, and the introduction class one also I will give it. Okay, so every day just you have to go for the drive after the classes. Your recordings will be available. Date wise, you will be having it. I will show you for other batches one. Yours is not created still. Hmm? I must be have created for your batch. Let's see. Your C is 8 o'clock, is it? No, it's not created. So this is for the 7 o'clock batch, okay, for the BTM branch. You will be having like this every day. The day one, day two. This is just the introduction. The first unit we have started that. What happened? Yeah, the first unit we have started, the date and time it shows, and Gnome Desktop 1 of 1. If it is a continuation of that, you will be having 1 of 2, 1 of 2, 1 of 3. Some unit that see here, 4 days. It's not exactly 4 days. It might be have taken 3 days. It's a multiple videos you have. If it is a continuation of that, you will be able to track it easily. And unit name I just mentioned, and then I will mention 1 of 1, 1 of 2. Some concepts, it's a small concept, one video you have. Okay, so every day you have to download and keep it in your system. When you find time, you can practice it. Okay, and after crossing 1 week of the classes and second week classes recordings, I have to update is it the previous classes recording videos that I'm going to delete from the drive. Okay, so make sure, don't think that, okay, let's in the last week of the Linux class download the recording. No, you will not be having it in the Google Drive. I will be keep on deleting every weekly once because I have to update the new video. No, I need the space for that, for the multiple batches. Okay, that's what that day video, that day itself downloaded, it will be easy for you. Okay, so fine then. If no questions, I will wind up for today. And I will create the drive and send it online, guys. Just follow, keep it that link to have the everyday the class recording. Okay, see you then tomorrow. Bye bye.